Okay, so I'm socially impaired. And fairly recently, Sarah Sanders was kicked out of a restaurant because she worked for the current administration.
Many by now have heard that I was asked to leave a restaurant this weekend where I attempted to have dinner with my family. My husband and I politely left and went home. I was asked to leave because I work for President Trump.
From what I understand, there was no more of a scene than that. And a lot of people feel a lot of different ways about this. For the most part, it seems to all depend on your political leaning, which is unfortunate because I think this is a fairly principled matter. Hey world, country, people, citizens, please do not discriminate against people because they have political differences. They work for the current administration? Oh my God. Look, I understand she can go to a different restaurant, and this is only so much of an inconvenience. But I think it's really the principle of the matter. If you're not okay with people discriminating against you or the people on your political side for the same reason, then you shouldn't be okay with this. Now, I know some people like to say that, well, Sarah Sanders, she's a liar. And that's a proven fact. She's a liar. Okay, how is that an argument? So, no liars then? You shouldn't be welcomed at restaurants because you're a liar. Or is it the combination of everything? She's a liar and she works for the current administration. My God. Look, if you don't like her and you think she's a liar and you think that there's no way to get through to her, that there's no real strong principles that guide her, and that there's nothing to really get through to. Okay, well then what's the next logical step? To convince the people who follow her. Can you convince each and every one of them? No. Can you convince some of them? Yes. So do that. You know what hurts that option? This, and stuff like this. Refusing service specifically because they work for the current administration. Because they have political differences, I understand that they are within the right to do so, and they are. If they choose to do that, then they are legally allowed to do that. You are simply not allowed to discriminate against protected classes. But the thing that kind of confuses me is that the people who make that argument in saying that, hey, there's a difference, therefore they're not comparable, therefore when I do one but not the other, I'm not a hypocrite. Well, the reason that I have a problem with that is because when they make that argument, it usually goes like, hey, I'm against discriminating against protected classes because I'm against discrimination. So in that regard, they really take the high road of saying, I'm just principled on this and I'm against discrimination. So they don't mind taking the principled high road when it suits them. But when it doesn't suit them, all of a sudden, oh, well, now we can make excuses for this form of discrimination. Here's the thing. If you're not principled on this, then when, not if, when this gets turned around on you, and all of a sudden it's you or your leaders or your political parties that are being discriminated against, you can't have a problem with it. Everyone will call you out and see you for what you are. So you have to take it. That's not a good thing. The idea is to be principled all the way, whether it's on your side or not. Because as the pendulum swings throughout your life, you need to be principled on very specific issues, and this being one of them, which is discrimination is not a good thing and we shouldn't do it. Now, granted, I know a few of you might be thinking, well, I mean, when we pick certain actors to fit certain roles, aren't we discriminating then based on things like race? Isn't that discriminating based on a protected class? You know, like as an example, if we were going to have a play that reenacted the slave era in the United States, then yeah, when picking actors and actresses, you're going to pick people who fit the role physically, and you know, obviously you want them to be good actors and whatnot, but they're going to fit the role in all forms, including their skin pigmentation. But that's not, I don't know if that is discriminating, because from what I can tell from the definition is an unjust treatment. And this would simply be picking people who are specifically suited for that job. So in that regard, picking actors to specifically fit the source material is something that I support. But on principle, you should probably be against discrimination, meaning in a negative way or an unjust way. You are negatively impacting this person or this group or this whatever based off your discrimination against them. Oh, they work for the administration. Well, we're just going to automatically discriminate against that group of people. But let's take it much, much further than that. I would like to introduce you to a congresswoman by the name of Maxine Waters. Here's a little speech she gave in front of a small group of people.
Already, you have members of your cabinet that have been booed out of restaurants, who have protesters taking up at their house, who's saying no peace, no sleep. No peace, no sleep. And guess what? We're going to win this battle because while you try and quote the Bible, Jeff Sessions and others, you really don't know the Bible. God is on our side. On the side of the children. On the side of what's right. On the side of what's honorable. On the side of understanding that if we can't protect the children, we can't protect anybody. And so, let's stay the course. Let's make sure we show up wherever we have to show up. And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
At their house. At their house, where they live. You know, with their family. So you harass them at their home. You are actively encouraging a group of people to turn into a mob of people and go to someone's private residence in order to harass them. You can call it a protest. That's fucking harassment. What else are you doing if not harassing? You're just calmly and peacefully and happily protesting? Bullshit. That's not the message that people take from that. So you want people to go to someone's private residence. To what? Yell at them? To hold up a big sign? To say what? Fuck you? Are you going to have them chant very specific policies that we wish to be implemented? Okay, well, if you're going to do that, then why would you go to their house to do it? Why not like the White House or Congress or somewhere that's a little bit more political? If you have a real message to tell people, then you wouldn't go to their private residence, which means that you're not encouraging them to actually go there with a real message. You're encouraging them to basically harass them, to go to their private lives, to what? Get in their face? What if the dude's taking out garbage? What are you going to do? What do you want him to do? You're not really being specific in that area, but you are being specific in where you want them to go. And that is their private residence. Not just that, their private life. Wherever they go, whatever they do. They go shopping, they go to the mall, they do this, they do that. In their private lives. That is fucking crazy. I cannot believe you are a congresswoman. And do you have any idea how easy it would be to flip that on you? You're a congresswoman, right? You have opinions, you have things you have voted for and against. I'm assuming not everyone agrees with everything that you have ever done in Congress, which means there's people out there who maybe justifiably are angry at you. So what do you want them to do? Go to your house? What if you're home with your family trying to enjoy a meal? Would you be okay with that? Would you just be like, well, you know, there are things that I've done that people vehemently disagree with. Now, I disagree with them, but they're within their right to disagree with what I have supported in the past. Therefore, it is reasonable for them to come to my private residence to bother me. And when I go out for milk or the mall or whatever's, they can come bother me too, and it's totally reasonable. And I support the principle of the matter. Would that be your opinion, Maxine Waters? No, it would not be. It would not be. Hey, if it is, excuse me. Please come out here and correct my ass, and I will happily apologize for my egregious error. But I'm feeling that I'm actually pretty fucking right on this one. That you would not be principled on this matter. So if you're not going to be principled, then guess what, Maxine? You're a hypocrite. You don't mind it happening to your political opponents, but you would take issue if it happened to you, which makes you a hypocrite. You're a goddamn cocksucking motherfucking hippo. Hypocrito. You're a hypocrite.
God is on our side.
God is on our side. I can only imagine what that crowd of people is made up of. So they cheered all that, and then God is on our side. Oh, so God would want you to encourage your followers to go and essentially harass, without directly saying it, your political opponents in their private lives, and you want them to go, you specifically tell them to go to their personal private residence, their home, where their family is, where the children are. What about the children? You gotta think about the children. Maxine Waters, do you not care about the children? I actually don't care about children, so I don't know why I made that point. But I figured some of you do, so it would make sense. I don't know, man. This is just, I mean, what kind of tactic is this if not a gangster-like tactic? And I'm not referring to your modern-day gangsta. I'm talking about your old-fashioned gangster. You know, from like the fucking 20s or something. It's that same type of mentality. Go after them, harass them, bother them, bug them. Put pressure on them to show they're not welcome. Why? Once they change their policy, they will be? No. Just by definition, they're not welcome. Oh. Well, that's fucked up. And it resembles a goddamn gangster from the 1920s. Maxine Waters should retire. She should go away. She's clearly a bad person and a bad influence. Or maybe she's fucking awesome. And I'm completely wrong about this, or pretty wrong. If I am, I would like you, whoever the fuck you are, to let me know this in detail in the comment section. I'll read it. If I'm confused, which I certainly have been, and I'm confused on this, I would like to know. So please tell me in any way that you see fit.